Hello, hey and hi. Who grabbed that opportunity in winning the Royal Rumble? One out of the three predictions, I was correct. Now, the final three in this Royal Rumble was Charlotte Flair, Nia Jax, and Roxanne Perez. Now, in my previous short clip, just earlier today, my previous guess initially before the Royal Rumble started was Charlotte Flair, Liv Morgan, and Bayley to be the final three. But I was wrong, partially, but partially correct, because I guessed one of them correctly, as Charlotte Flair was one of the remaining three. Now, Indianapolis, Indiana, Lucas Oil Stadium. Charlotte Flair making her entrance down that aisle at number 27. Simply incredible to see her return since late of 2023. Her entrance was incredible. Now, one of the surprising entrances was Alexa Bliss. She came back since. So, the return of Alexa Bliss was, she came back today, and her last entrance was Royal Rumble of 2023. And I was surprised that Becky Lynch did not show up. But let's see, before we get to all that, let's see. Yes, Charlotte Flair, historically speaking, is a 14-time crowned champion. 14 times. 14 times Charlotte Flair has been crowned a champion. Incredible! Charlotte Flair, her entrance at number 27. Her entrance, the way that she walked down that aisle, saying, "Woo!" When her music came off, the entire building knew. They knew who was in the building. Woo! Charlotte, 14-time champion, Flair. Now, Indianapolis, Indiana. You know, I was surprised of just the diversity of the amount of women's wrestlers that enter that ring. Triple H, I will admit, has done something right. Triple H has created one of the strongest rosters to date in this women's division. Now, Wendy, also known as Wyatt, my best friend of 7 years now, who is on video call right now with me on the computer screen. Wendy, also known as Wyatt, brought it to my attention to talk about the women's division. To see who these women are in the division as wrestlers. To see what their potential are in this division. And to see who can grasp that opportunity. And potentially being in that championship conversation. Charlotte Flair! Woo! Now, I will say this. Seeing Alexa Bliss return, that was incredible. I was like, what? But I was surprised that Becky Lynch did not show up. I was very surprised. Now, the current champions of the women's division. Now, mind you, this entire discussion was initiated by my best friend of 7 years, Winnie, also known as Wyatt. Winnie, also known as Wyatt, was like, Mr. Business Suits, bring forward the women's division conversation. I said, you're right. You're right. Because in the past, the wrestling has been dominated by the men's division for so many years. For so many years. But now, the women's division is a wide range of spectacular women's wrestlers, their charisma, their wrestling gear, their wrestling maneuvers, to see which of these women stands out from the rest. That is the beauty of seeing the WWE Women's Division. Now, the current women's champions are Rhea Ripley and Tiffany Stratton. Charlotte Flair, the winner of the Women's 2025 Royal Rumble. I mean, come on, folks. Woo! Incredible! Congratulations to Charlotte, 14 times crowned champion, Flair. Woo! Now, what we have here is a storyline. Charlotte Flair has already went up against Rhea Ripley. Remember that? And Charlotte Flair passed the torch, passed the reign to Rhea Ripley. And Rhea Ripley winning the match against Charlotte Flair and being crowned the new champion in the past. So it would only make sense for Charlotte Flair to go up against Tiffany Stratton. It makes sense. Why would Charlotte Flair go up against Rhea Ripley again? It doesn't make sense. The last time Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair competed was in the match for the women's championship, and Rhea Ripley won. And when Rhea Ripley won, Charlotte Flair was sitting on the mat outside of the ring, smiling, as a symbol that Charlotte Flair let Rhea Ripley have her shining moment, meaning passing the moment on to Rhea Ripley. So it makes sense, because what does WWE evolve around? Storyline, wrestling gear, promo, wrestling maneuvers. Charlotte Flair is one of the most prestigious women's wrestlers that exists today. Woo! I know it, and you all know it. Being crowned 14 times. To even think that a small fraction of the population can say that they have existed on the WWE roster. And now, over time, seeing the women's division become one of the biggest diversity, the biggest, strongest diversity of women's wrestlers to date. So much talent, so much charisma to be seen. Now, I was also curious to see if AJ Lee would make her return, but she didn't. Becky Lynch didn't make her return, which was surprising. It really was. Now, there's so much more to go in the Royal Rumble, but all I am here to discuss is the women's division. And it only makes sense for Charlotte Flair to take that opportunity for the championship opportunity against Tiffany Stratton. It makes sense. If the storyline goes to where Charlotte Flair chose Rhea Ripley again, I would be shocked, because it doesn't make sense. Now, in my personal opinion, Charlotte Flair is one of those prestigious women's wrestlers that she doesn't even need the championship to hold value to her name. She doesn't. She doesn't. Charlotte Flair has proved everything. And to the viewers who show up here and typing disrespectful comments, you will be blocked. So just keep it moving. We are here to express constructive criticisms across the board. So any automatic disrespect, you will be blocked. Okay? Goodbye. Now, people can talk all they want, but at least I have a community here. My fans on my fans list. I have a community here. So anybody that wants to come in here typing that disrespect, why don't you waste more of your time creating your own community with positive enthusiasm rather than having no life and coming on to other people's live streams talking that disrespect, which would initiate that those types of people that type that automatic disrespect simply have no life. Now, moving forward. Now, once again, congratulations to Charlotte Flair. Did I think that Charlotte Flair was going to win this Royal Rumble? I honestly had no idea. And you had no idea. If you look at my short clip earlier today, my initial guess was that the final three was going to be Liv Morgan, Bayley, and Charlotte Flair. So 1 out of the 3, I was correct. I was correct. 1 out of 3 ain't bad. Hey, I mean, at least I got 1 out of the 3 correct, you know? Hello, Janito Gaming. And to the potential newer viewers in the very last row, to the critics in the next row, to the casual viewers in the next row, and most importantly, to my fans on my fans list in the front row, I am so thankful, seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, years, that I can say that I have a audience here. I am so thankful for that. I am very thankful. I have, will, and always be thankful. And on that note, stay tuned for my live streams that will happen at any day and at any time. Now, a little side note. Now, the next live event is the WWE Elimination Chamber, which gives these women, the women's division, another opportunity to put themselves in the championship conversation. Because whoever the winner is in the WWE Elimination Chamber, that would be the next event coming up on March 1st. The winner out of that match would have an opportunity to put themselves in the championship conversation. Indianapolis, Indiana, Lucas Oil Stadium. A variety of women's wrestlers being brought to that spotlight. That entrance ramp is awesome. That long entrance ramp. That is so awesome because that gives every woman in that women's division equal opportunity to walk down that aisle or run down that aisle and showcase their spotlight. Because year-round, these women's wrestlers are constantly on the road year-round. So we owe genuine respects to each and every woman that exists in that women's division. And as we just seen, folks, seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, years, it all came down to this one opportunity. The number 27 spot entrance, Charlotte Flair, walked down that aisle and she said, I want that championship opportunity. And guess what, folks? Charlotte Flair not only said that she wanted it, but Charlotte Flair proved that she wanted it. And also, Charlotte Flair did just that and winning the 2025 WWE Women's Royal Rumble. And on that note, Thank you to all of you. Thank you to Winnie, also known as Wyatt. Thank you to me. Thank you to all of us for being us. Stay tuned for all of my live streams that will happen at any day and at any time. Charlotte Flair, the 2025 Women's Royal Rumble winner. Congratulations!